This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Welcome, listeners. I'm your host, Danny, and I'm the first-time reader who's going through this 15-book series chapter by chapter. As always, there are no spoilers past the chapter we are covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host, Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's acting as my tour guide on this journey. Before we get into this really fun episode we recorded live for the charity podcast-a-thon, we really want to thank and welcome some new members to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. So thank you so much to Chatty Daddy and Gilbert Lee. We really want to thank you for your generosity, and we're super excited to have your support. Yay, so here we go.
That was good.
And this episode, we're going to be talking about Chapter 7 and Chapter 8 of The Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, and these ones is kind of funny because I have this trend where I always say, oh, the next chapter is really good and the next one's really awesome.
You didn't say that this time.
I did not say that because I have to say that this chapter 7, I think. Yeah, that's where we're starting. Mm-hmm. Chapter 7 is not my most favorite chapter in the book.
No, and you know...
It's shocking for me to say that.
You know what I thought about? So this chapter didn't need to exist.
It didn't. It could have been like a paragraph.
It could have been one sentence at the beginning of the next chapter that said, they made their way out of the mountains.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, literally, that's all that happens. There's nothing.
There's like one or two...
How are there 10 pages of them making their way out of the mountains?
There's like two things that are exciting, kind of, sort of. Like, speculation-wise.
Moiraine catches fish with her hands?
Well, okay, I have questions when we get to that part.
Oh, jeez, okay.
And also the little, land signals in the forest, I like those too.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Okay, so I got my notes here. And the really exciting thing about this episode is I have less than 3 pages of notes, and I don't think I've ever had less than 3 pages of notes.
Yeah, usually it's a lot more, so.
Yikes there. Okay, Chapter 7 is called...
Whoa.
What? Oh, I do this every time.
Okay.
I'm messing
Seriously?
up so bad
Yeah,
this
is bad. Okay.
Okay. Hey, Brett, do you have a fun fact for us?
I sure do. Okay. But so I now just do...
Did you remember to do the Hawks and Falcon
I sure
one?
did. Okay, so just to preface this, last chapter, we just got new Min viewings about Perrin. And there's been a whole lot of Perrin in this book, like only Perrin so far.
Perrin.
And I know you're super excited about that. But we got the viewings about an Aielman in a cage, a tinker with a sword, and then a falcon and a hawk on his shoulders. And we learned that we know nothing about falcons and hawks, and what's up with that? We don't know anything about birds. So,
I think my speculation is that falcons are smaller than hawks. Did you find anything like that out?
I did find out that stuff too. Because we kind of we tried to take some guesses, but I got some information on the falcons and the hawks, so I got to dive into that.
Okay.
But there's also one fun little connection for you in this one too, because there's actually a third bird of prey in this equation too. So I'm going to quiz you. Do you remember what the flag of Manetheren is?
Eagle?
Yes, the red eagle of Manetheren. That's good.
Thank you.
Good knowledge there. So we have the red eagle, the eagle who is Perrin, right? The man from Manetheren. And then on his shoulder, we have the falcon and the hawk.
Okay.
So fun little connection. We got 3 birds of prey.
Growing up, my soccer team was the Falcons.
That's cool. So growing up, my school was the Highbury, well, it was an owl.
No, you were Hooters.
The Highbury Hooters,
yeah.
Which they changed to the Predators, which I don't know if that's better, but it's...
No, it's
I don't know
not.
if it's worse.
You should have been Hooters.
But
That's
we were
way
the
better
Highbury
for an
Hooters,
elementary school.
It's pretty great. So, so the difference between the 3 birds, they're all raptors, but the eagle is the biggest of the 3. Only vultures are bigger, and we have Perrin, who's the biggest guy. They've got broad wings, they're heavier size, more powerful build, and they've got a heavier head and build, so they typically eat bigger stuff.
Okay.
Then we've got hawks, which are the medium size. They're mainly woodland creatures. They hunt from suddenly dashing from concealment, and they're prescribed as the most intelligent birds. Ooh. And then last we have falcons, which are the smallest of the 3, and they're the fastest with pointed wings, and they dive in on their prey, and they often hunt other birds.
Ooh.
So, just fun little connections that if you want to think about later on what this hawk and falcon on the eagle's shoulders
and is the
really means.
Falcon the smaller one?
Falcon is the smaller one,
nice.
yes.
I was right.
So,
I like being right.
Yes, you were. Okay, so that's a fun fact. You learned a little bit of birds.
Okay.
There you go.
Now, I noticed that when you opened your notes, you closed the chat. Is there a way for you to have your notes and the chat sort of open at once?
Maybe.
Can you minimize so that we can see when people are chatting with us so you don't have to switch back and forth?
I can try to do that.
Okay, and just a little bit of a heads up, like, I'm not going to read the chat just in case for spoilers.
We do have a couple questions, though.
Okay, let's do that before we get into Chapter 7, the most exciting chapter I've
exactly,
ever read.
I know. It's like, this is what Chapter 7 is going to be. So, if you could go to Randland, what would you do without, like, messing up the events of the book? And that question is by Valerie Jackson.
What would I do?
Yeah, what would you do in Randland? This is a hard question.
That is a hard one. I don't know. I would probably go... Where's the party? Ilion?
Yeah, there is parties in Alien.
I'd go party in Ilion.
Okay, I like that.
Beach town, right? It's on the coast.
Yeah, that was where like the Mardi Gras celebration was going on, so we had like seen that.
I'd go party there.
Party time.
Yeah.
I'd join you. There you go.
Would you?
Yeah.
What would you do?
I would definitely like shear sheep. Yeah, I'd like go to Two Rivers and I'd just go learn how to shear sheep.
I thought
like,
you were going to go say,
brandy.
like, fight evil trees in the Blight or something.
No. I would say I'd probably want to, like, drink as much of, like, that apple brandy that Tam makes as possible. So
apple brandy.
And smoke that Emmonsfield Tabak, which probably is...
It definitely
Anyways.
It's for sure weed.
Yeah. A couple quick questions from Keith Stewart. How many times have I read the series? So I've read the series probably a dozen times at least. Like I've just every time a book came out, I'd reread the entire series, and I just kind of kept going with that. And I've read them, and I've listened to audiobooks, so that's kind of like its own unique thing too, because you get to hear pronunciations from Michael Kramer and Kate Redding. So yeah. Oh, Danny, who do you think will survive to the end of Wheel of Time?
Oh, like after like the last page of the book,
last page of the book.
Alive?
Who's dying? Who's living? Out of the main cast, let's say. Main cast, who's dead, who's still alive.
Gosh.
You can even do the top 5. The 3 boys and Nynaeve and Egwene.
Well, I was going to say, I think Loyal's going to live.
Oh,
actually, no. I changed my mind. He's definitely sacrificial. He's a sacrificial lamb.
You're going to kill off Loyal.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
Robert Jordan is.
Yeah.
I would never. Who's going to survive? Probably Nynaeve, and I'll be annoyed about it.
Ooh, okay.
Probably Egwene.
Okay.
I don't think Egwene or Nynaeve will die by the end.
Out of the 3 boys, any of them are going to,
live?
Yeah, like, sure.
Probably Matt.
Matt's going to live or die?
Yeah, Matt'll live.
Matt'll live.
Perrin will... I don't know. Okay, so here's my thing about so I still think of Rand as, like, the main character.
Yeah, sure.
So he's like the equivalent. He's like the Harry Potter.
Sure.
And I always thought Harry Potter had to die. I was so annoyed when he didn't die, and there was this whole Horcrux stupid crap. By the way, that's a shot. You got to do that. So, with that being said, I really kind of want Rand to die, but only in defeating the Dark One and saving the world. I think it's so bad for the main character guy to defeat the Dark One and then still just, like, get to live.
Yeah, no, I get that, too, because we've had this Harry Potter discussion quite a few times.
Yeah. So
I also think Harry should have died.
Yeah, Harry should have died, and Rand probably should die. But, like, at the end, defeating the Dark One.
Okay. Yeah, not, like, just, like, at book 7 or something, and they got to continue on. It's like,
no,
how do we go on without Rand? So
here's my non-alcoholic
I'm not doing
beer.
The entire shot glass, by the way, because I still,
It's like, look at the size difference. It's like a giant...
I have to get up when the kid gets up tomorrow.
Well, it's also a double shot glass.
It's also a double shot glass, so this is like one regular shot.
Okay.
Anyways, cheers to Harry Potter. There you go. Okay.
Ugh. That's what the people were missing, right? My sound effects?
Mm.
Taking shots. Someone said, I don't remember where it was, maybe on YouTube or our Discord, somebody said that I should just shoot lemon juice or something to really get the sound effects. And I'm like, oh.
Hey, I have people doing shots with me.
Yay!
This is great. Yeah. See, and we kind of cut down on the Harry Potter references for once you found out that you were pregnant, like we kind of stopped because it's not very fun for me to just like drink by myself. So, yeah, this is fun to do this, live. Okay, let's get into Chapter 7.
Chapter 7, The Way Out of the Mountains.
Yes.
The end.
And we
Chapter
have...
8. Just kidding.
Okay.
Okay, so we have the Flame of Tarvalin.
Yes, we do. Which
That's
is
symbol.
for probably...
Moiraine,
being bossy.
So bossy, oh my gosh. Okay, so last time some really exciting stuff did happen.
Yes.
Last episode was actually very exciting, and I was totally on board with things being exciting.
Yep.
And now we've just sort of gone down.
Yeah, the camp got attacked, Rand disappeared.
You're stealing my summary.
Oh.
What are you doing?
You usually
Are
edit
you
this
new?
out. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a big Trolloc attack, and Rand has taken off from the mountain camp, and he is clearly going crazy.
Yes.
So Min is being sent to Tarvalin, which she is not happy about.
Yeah.
And Uno and crew are going to Gildan, which they also are not happy about.
Yeah.
And then Loyal and Perrin are going with Moiraine and Lan to hunt for Rand.
Yes.
That's the new Great Hunt.
They really cut down the crew here. So.
Yes. And he has probably taken off towards Tyr, if dreams can be believed.
Yeah,
because
and it kind
the
of
whole
like
sword isn't a sword business.
yeah, we got like the Kalendor thing, and he's probably going to Tyr because that's where the dreams are leading him. So
yeah, and he's
going.
He's losing it
a little bit. Okay.
Oh, I like having this visual meeting because people can like see the things I. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so starting off chapter 7, we are still from Perrin's point of view.
Yeah.
Which was a little disappointing for me.
It's a lot of Perrin.
It's a lot of Perrin. So they are heading out of the Mountains of Mist, and Lan is ahead scouting and tracking Rand to give them directions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Moiraine wants them to go faster, but Lan is like, no, this terrain is terrible, and we're going as fast as we can. And then Moiraine low-key threatens to send him off to Miriel, or whatever her name is.
Yeah, I did kind of find this...
Myrelle, what's her name? I don't even know.
Yeah, Myrelle.
Myrelle. Okay.
Myrelle. So it's kind of interesting that Moiraine is like doing this in front of Perrin and Loyal, because like this was a huge matter of contention.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Because he's just like... He's like, oh, I can stand up to Aes Sedai now?
Yeah,
I can stand up to her, so everything she says, he's like... contradicting.
And Loyal is still head down, like, don't talk to Aes Sedai, don't intrude on their business.
Yeah, Loyal is not having it. He's mad about it.
Yeah. It is interesting, though, that she's, like, joking about it, so maybe, like, Lan and Moiraine have moved past that just a little bit, of it being, like, a really, really harsh incident, but, yeah.
Yeah,
Lan didn't take it well.
It's almost like she's joking, but then, like, half not joking.
Yeah.
She's like, do what I say, or, like, I'll just get rid of you.
Yeah.
Basically. But he's mad. He's not having it. Lan doesn't like that. So... at some point in this chapter, even Robert Jordan writes the words, "This was a boring journey."
Yeah.
So I thought I'd take note of that, because even Perrin and Robert Jordan are like, yeah, this is boring. And I go, I agree.
Well, that's why it's only like a 6-page chapter, too. So it's
6 pages too many.
Super short.
So
it's concise.
The most interesting thing that happens here, though, is Moiraine is good at catching fish with her hands, and this surprises and annoys Perrin.
Yes, so let's talk about this, since this is like the most exciting part of the chapter. So Moiraine catching fish, do you think that she was legitimately like using the power? Because like on first read, you're like, oh, she's totally like, you know, I don't know, freezing the fish with some sort of one powery type trick, or is Moiraine just like that good?
She's not that good.
You don't think she's like no?
No, of course she's using the power. She comes over, she's like, ooh, how do I do this? And then, like...
yeah.
And then unbuttons her pearl buttons.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Perrin's like, well, you're not going to be very good at it, but here's how you do this. And then she's like, oh, like this? And then just, like, grabs a fish.
like a giant fish.
Like,
it's a 5-pound fish.
She totally knows, too. Like, I really...
So that's why I'm saying. It's
and
like
he's like, oh, a fish like that shouldn't even have been here. That's why I think she did some sort of powery stuff in the water...
Because I like to imagine that Moiraine actually, like, we know that she grew up as, like, Kyrianan nobility. We don't know much more about that, but we know that about her. So I kind of like to think that she's got this, like, you know, secret trick.
If it was Swan
well,
and
yeah,
all her
all her fish references
of
in
course.
Okay.
Moiraine, no, she used the power.
Okay. All right. I just, you know,
yeah,
I gotta...
No way. And she did it just to annoy Perrin, because Perrin's getting on her nerves.
Definitely.
Like, she did it on purpose.
You know,
piss him
I
off.
have to say, I disagree with Perrin's whole thing, because he's like, so whoever catches the fish has to, like, also clean the fish.
And clean it.
So I'm thinking, if you catch the fish, give it to the other person to clean. It's kind of like what we do, is like, you cook, I clean.
Yeah.
Right? So we have a good system, because you're good at cooking.
Because I hate cleaning.
And I don't mind cleaning at all, but I'm terrible at cooking, so it's like a partnership.
Anyone want to know the secret to a good marriage?
Yeah. Learn how to cook, learn how to clean. There you go.
That's the one.
Perfect. That's free advice. There you go.
So why I think Moiraine is doing this just to piss off Perrin is because she continues to do things just to piss off Perrin.
Well, she's retraining him. Yeah. Because he stepped so far out of line.
Yes. And so she's super bossy, getting Loyal and Perrin just to do all the chores. And then being like, oh, what? It's such a simple task. You can't do that for me? And just being like a little bitch about it. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's a good strategy. So, like, I gotta give it to her that she's...
Well, and he hasn't been able to refuse, so...
Yeah, I mean, but that's the whole thing is like she's acting like, oh, it would be rude to, not, I don't even know, brush the horse's hair or something because you got to brush down horses after take a saddle off.
Yeah, with
right? So,
hay or something. Like, gotta, like, scratch them.
Yeah, I know, like, nothing
Give
about
them
horses,
scratches.
but yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, the requests are super reasonable, so it is just reconditioning Perrin to be like...
That's totally fair. That's exactly what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, they finally get out of the mountains.
Yeah.
They enter Gildan, which I found to be very interesting. I thought they were, like, way further north than they are. I had to go to the map and everything because Gildan is, like, at the bottom of the Mountains of Mist almost. Like, from Falme, they had to do, like, this crazy thing. I thought they were going to be more in line with the two rivers, and I was secretly hoping they'd get to the two rivers.
Oh, yeah, no. Nope. Sorry.
Well, I'm just, like, I don't understand, too, because she's sending Uno to Gildan, but they went to Gildan. Like, I really didn't think that that's where they were going. It didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, well, Gildan, because they got sent to Johanna, which is, like, in the middle of Gildan, and then, like, they're closer to the border. So it's, like, a little...
Even further so.
But
because
also...
they gotta go across to Tyr.
The thing with that, though, is Moiraine wants to get rid of the Shienarans.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't want to be with them anymore for whatever reason. So, like,
Well...
that was a clear send-off, because it's, like, the four of them traveling.
Yeah.
And it's basically, like, lands off all day, and then it's loyal Perrin and Moiraine all day together.
Yeah.
Just looking for Lan's little, like, tree signals,
Yeah,
which I
know.
think are awesome, too,
Yeah,
so...
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a shock for me.
Yeah.
Maybe I just don't know the geography
Yeah.
of this place.
You could touch up a bit, I think. You know.
Thanks.
What are you doing with your free time? Seriously.
Yeah, literally nothing. I literally do nothing all day. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, let's finish off this chapter, because Perrin notes that even though they're getting into, like, villages and stuff and farmland where people are, you're laughing at what people are saying.
You can't read all the chat. Some of it you can, some of it you can't.
Okay. Has anybody said that they're first-time readers? Should we be careful of them?
Yes. Well, the couple people are, like, right around where we are reading, so that's good.
Okay.
Someone's upset with you trashing Moiraine about in the imitations. They So,
no, that was her. She put on a
a
show.
Yeah.
I never get this immediate feedback.
I know, right? Why don't you tell the viewers what you think of Perrin?
I have already done that. They know.
She doesn't like him.
Last chapter,
that's
told
true.
you
that's not released
he's
yet.
Going up in my book.
Yes. No. It was really good.
Thank you
said that there is Perrin and there is Young Bull,
and I like Young Bull.
You like Young Bull,
but
you
I
do
don't
not like
Perrin.
Perrin. So, okay.
Perrin's too emotional for me.
I like that.
Okay. So, Perrin notes that there are wolves around.
Yes.
Where there shouldn't be, because they're getting into, like, this farmland.
Yeah.
But I think that they're clearly here for Perrin's protection.
Yeah, they seem to be guarding him.
Yep.
But I was also thinking, is this just, like, Perrin being, like, antsy about the wolves?
Yes.
Like, still being here? Like, would they actually be gone? Or is he just being kind of a butt about it?
No, I think they should be gone. But I think he's also being a butt about it.
Yeah, okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I think that they're there, but I think he doesn't like that.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because he's trying really hard to cut the wolves off. Still.
Yeah.
So, all right. So then they come up to a village named Jarra, and
we get the Jarrah.
That's it. That's the whole chapter.
That was a lot of stuff about not chapter 7 too.
About literally nothing. Okay.
Just for reference, what time do we go to?
We have
8:30.
We have
till.
Oh, it's 10:30 for everyone, but for us it's 8:30. Yeah, we have until 45.
Okay, we got 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm. We're good. But we're gonna do. We should probably be done by 35. That's when Joe's coming in.
Okay.
I think.
Let's do this. All right, let's power through Jarrah.
Oh yeah, we got lots of time.
Yeah.
All right. So we had Jarrah. That's just what chapter 8's called, and a wolfie picture.
Yeah.
Which I have to say fooled me.
Ooh. Why?
I thought it was gonna have to do with the actual wolves and Perrin.
Oh, okay.
I thought the wolves were gonna. I thought maybe there'd be like Trollocs or something, especially when that guy's like, Trollocs, those don't exist. And then,
which we got to talk about.
Yeah, we will. But I thought that there was gonna be like
more with the wolves,
more about the wolves and stuff.
But it's about one, specific wolf. Ooh, okay, all right.
Okay.
This is a good. Okay, chapter 7 didn't care for. Jarrah I like.
This was okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still with Perrin.
Yep.
And they get to this village, and the green looks like there has been tons going on. And I originally thought Beltane.
Oh, spring is here.
It's that time of year, and so I was waiting to hear about a pole.
The stripper pole.
The stripper pole.
We haven't heard about that
stuff,
in so long.
And then I was going to be sad that it's been a full year and they haven't been back. But nope, just a bunch of crazy weddings.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Something to note here, because Perrin smells something wrong.
Yes.
He smells something off, and
Yeah.
he thinks, that can't be Rand. So then I immediately think, I bet he smells Rand.
Okay. Did your opinion change?
I don't even really have.
Because that's one of my questions. Is
Yeah.
like, what is this smell, right? Because that's kind of like an important thing.
Unless he smells Wolfman Noam, and smells him as wrong.
Sure.
But then we get to him, and Perrin doesn't immediately go, "Oh, that's the smell."
Yeah.
So probably not that.
So what else could it be? Okay, we can come back to it. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Probably Rand. It's probably Rand.
Probably Rand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so they get to the village inn, and it's called Harrowland's Leap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
And so there's a guy sweeping outside who's yawning and gives quite the start at Perrin's eyes.
Because he's super hungover.
Well, and at first I was like, Perrin, no one cares about your eyes. Get over it.
Yeah.
But
this guy
really cares about his eyes.
This is the one guy in the entire village who actually
legitimately would really care about Perrin's eyes.
So one thing that kind of keep in the back of your mind this entire chapter 2 is that they are literally on the border of Amadicia and Gildan.
Yeah.
So Amadicia is the
White Cloak Hub.
The White Cloak Hub, exactly. So yeah, we know that Pedron Nile has got plans for not only the two rivers, but also Perrin Ibera of the two rivers has been added to the list, and we don't really know what the list is, but yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. Exactly. Yeah.
Blacklist.
So the smell is apparently Rand because he hasn't bathed in a long time. So.
Oh, is that what someone said?
Yeah, that's Danaluhu.
Oh yes.
Yes.
For sure, that's it. Anyway, so this guy's super into Perrin's eyes, and then he also is completely startled by Loyal.
Yes.
This group of people traveling really throws him off.
Well, it's kind of funny because if you look at the line on the map of south of the two rivers, the people in two rivers don't know that Trollocs are a real thing, and they think it's all fairy tales, and everything basically south of that, everyone doesn't think that Dark Friend, not necessarily Dark Friends, but Trollocs, Shadow Spawn, Ogier, all that stuff, it's all fairy tales.
Yeah.
So we're below that line now.
Yeah. Okay. So this guy is named Simeon.
Yes.
And he's the caretaker, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Master Herod is the innkeeper.
We don't get a reference. I didn't see one of his weight.
Nothing.
Or his round belly, so I don't know if we should trust him. Yeah, that's a thing.
Good point. Because but we also didn't get a specific reference to him being skinny.
That's
either.
true. So he's probably normal sized, I guess, average.
Maybe.
Average build.
Maybe. This is more about Simeon than the innkeeper at this point.
Okay.
So this guy tells them all the crazy shit that's been going on. There's been about 1 million crazy weddings. So weird. And I just was I hope someone just tells me what this is later, because I have no idea what's happening.
No speculation?
No,
okay.
I right away knew that, something was wrong.
But, not sure what?
No idea.
Okay.
And then Perrin asks right away if he's seen Rand, but then Moiraine cuts him off, and I just think, wow, okay, so Perrin...
Yes.
Hasn't, traveled on his own yet.
He hasn't. So he hasn't learned the lesson.
He's new.
Yeah. He's new at this. And I kind of, was thinking about this in a couple different ways, because Rand kind of sort of has learned his lesson because he got to play the game of houses in Kyrian, where he figured out how to not just say, hey, I'm Rand from the Two Rivers, and this is what I'm looking for. But Perrin still is on that whole
and even Matt and Rand traveling the Camelin Road together,
not good. Yeah,
still sort of figured it out along the way.
Stop saying our name.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of. A little
anyway, they had way more experience
yeah.
with it. But this is Perrin's, first experience,
this
really.
This is bad. I do have to know, too, this happened, so we know that Rand showed up 2 days ago, yesterday morning, basically, so it's been 48 hours, more or less.
Oh, he's gone fast.
That's the thing that I want to talk about. Rand is moving fast.
Yeah,
but
he's
Rand,
probably not stopping very much.
He's probably not sleeping very much.
That's what I was going to say for rest.
And you know what happens when you don't sleep very much? you go
You
crazy.
go crazy.
Yeah, you go crazy. That's what happens. Like, I don't know if anyone's like not slept. Just on the side note of like Rand traveling fast, he's got experience of traveling fast because him and Matt from Whitebridge to Camelin, he was moving fast.
Oh yeah, he was worried someone was on his tail. Same.
Exact same scenario where it's like I got to keep moving. But the weird thing is, to bring that back, is that he spends an entire day in Jarra. He moves really, really, really fast, and then he spends the entire day in Jarra.
Well, probably because he got some food. He played his flute and got some food.
You got food and like a little bit of rest, maybe?
And some marriage proposals.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah.
So,
at least offers.
Like, that was fun. It was, like, festive and fun for him, so...
Is Rand getting hit on by girls actually fun for Rand? Yeah. May I remind you of Al Screenwell?
Yeah. He has no idea what to do. I don't know. He's in a different space right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to this, though, because this is where Perrin is like, have you seen a tall guy with red hair? Like, Perrin, number one, don't.
Yeah.
And Moiraine cuts him off, and Lan gives him a signal, like, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so Simeon asks what loyal is, which is funny.
Which is a great question.
And boy, does Loyal take offense to this.
Yeah.
Which is funny because he'd never really cared so much. Like in Camelin,
he got chased with like torches.
And he was like, oh, well. Right?
It's been a long time for him. Well, he's also become accustomed. He's been spending like a long time with people who know what he is.
Yeah.
And we haven't really seen this reaction to Loyal for a long time. So like maybe he's
He's like, I'm an Ogier, idiot. What'd you think I was, a Trolloc? And he was like, oh no, Trollocs are children's tales.
Yeah.
And then he sort of laughs and starts to go, Ogiers are children's tales. But then he just sort of peters off and doesn't continue there. So they go in, and they meet the innkeeper, and Simeon tells Herod that Loyal is an Ogier, and he says, well, at least he isn't a white cloak.
Trouble with white cloaks.
Trouble with the white cloaks. Okay, so they get shown to their rooms by Simeon, and Lan takes all the bags, and then he goes to the room beside Moraine's, even though it's meant for a servant. So we learned that Rand has not taken the dragon banner with him.
Yeah, this was huge.
This was actually a very big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because it's like supposed to save his life, but maybe it already did save his life, so he's like, don't need it again. I don't even think
he's thinking clearly enough to think about it.
He just like packed and left because, I mean, did Moiraine have it the whole time, or was it in Rand's hut? Was it in Moraine's hut? Like, where was this banner? Did he leave it behind intentionally, or did he leave it because he didn't want to talk to Moiraine before he left?
So many options.
There's a lot of options. Yeah.
I'm going to say it was probably in Moraine's hut. I think that she was keeping
Was it flying? It was flying.
Oh, it was flying.
Yeah.
That's where it was.
So, like, it would be too obvious to go and, like, undo the banner and take it down.
Totally. Okay, that makes way more sense. Okay. So, Moiraine asks about the trouble with the Children of the Light, because they are all acting so crazy, turns out. Yeah. They're, like, deflecting...
Nope.
Defecting. And running off and doing all sorts of crazy stuff and getting in fights and trying to, like, burn down the inn.
Assaulting women,
Assaulting women.
Just, honestly, a lot of terrible stuff is happening. They're kind of going crazy, which makes sense why Perrin thinks that,
madness is
Rand's
catching.
madness is catching. But it's not.
It's not that.
Apparently not that. But
apparently not.
Yeah.
It seems like it might be that, though.
I actually wanted to ask you about this because, like, Moiraine clearly states, like, it's not the madness. That's not what it is. It's the fact that he's a Taviran. But is it, like, a little bit? Because we know the whole Shatter Logoth evil is, like, a catching thing. Padden Fane, like, infects people with his, evilness. Right?
Yeah.
With the whole more death and the dagger and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I do think that it is the Taviran thing.
It's the Taviran thing.
And not the madness thing.
Okay.
But, so Perrin thinks, like, he doesn't care about weddings or white cloaks. He just wants to find Rand.
Yes.
And Perrin and Loyal go with Simeon to their rooms. And Perrin asks if this guy has seen Rand. So, he's very little tact. He doesn't know how to listen to instructions.
I hate this so much. I hate when people go blabbing. And it happens so much in this book.
Oh my god, all the time.
Yeah.
Like these.
Have you seen Rand al'Thor? He's from the Two Rivers. And
he's
I don't know.
The Dragon
He's the Dragon
Reborn.
Reborn. Yeah. It's like this tall, red hair, gray eyes. You can't miss him.
Yeah.
Probably plays a flute. That's the guy.
Yeah. And he's like, oh yeah.
I've
he's
seen
been
him.
here.
Yeah. It's like we're right beside the White Cloaks' turf.
Yeah,
like,
I know. It's
oh,
so
man.
bad. Okay,
Yeah.
so luckily it's okay though.
Yeah, like really lucked out here.
For now.
For now. Okay.
For now.
Yeah.
But it's okay for now. And we also find out that Rand, when he was here, also was acting super crazy.
Super crazy.
Shocker.
Yeah.
So he was yelling about someone following him and trying to kill him and like woke them all up in the middle of the night screaming. And then he left by saying that one of us has to die and I mean it to be him.
Yeah, which is like really inconvenient that now there's like a bunch of people looking for Rand. So Simeon is like justified and is like, this guy said people are following him and gonna murder him.
And Loyal's like, don't worry, we're his friend.
We're friends.
We're friends.
Said, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Phew, I was worried.
Yeah.
But that's a big thing. So we know that Rand had like the feeling on his way from White Bitch to Camelin that they were being followed. We had the whole thing with the Fade.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you remember way back when.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, is it a similar situation? Because Moiraine clearly thinks
well,
that...
I think it's a dream situation.
Okay.
It's a following him in his dream situation, I think.
Assuming that Rand is sleeping at all.
Yeah.
Again,
but
if you don't sleep, you don't have dreams.
That's true. I do think, though, that it's a dream situation and that whole Fade Trolloc attack like, solidified it for Rand. He's like, because people died.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And so he's thinking, no one else dies for me. I leave. I'm being followed, and I'm going to go kill the Dark One or something. I don't even know what he's thinking. So I'm thinking, like, things escalated really quickly. Because now Rand is not only just, like, yelling at Moiraine and saying crazy things to Perrin, but he's in this village by himself with strangers, and he's just, like, yelling about everything. Like, this is bad. This is really bad. The last time he was, like, by himself with strangers was in Inquiring.
Yeah.
Right? And he had tact. He didn't want to play their game, and there were some aspects of a little bit of craziness, but he knew not to, like, yell about someone wanting to kill him and following him and whatever.
So
like,
what's happening to Rand?
He's going crazy.
Like, are we talking madness crazy?
Madness crazy.
Like, are we finally...
100% madness crazy. He's going crazy.
We're seeing the effects of the taint on Sidene.
100%.
Wow, okay.
But I think more than not,
yeah.
I think if he could be constantly getting it every time he wants to touch it,
yeah,
he would probably be less crazy. I think the fact that he can't grab it every time he wants to is, like, not helping the craziness.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not like the reverse where it's like the more you touch the tainted Sidene, the worse it is?
Mm-mm. I think it's a mental game.
Okay.
And I think the fact that he can only do it sometimes is really driving him nuts.
Okay. So it's like a little bit of tainted madness and...
Yeah. Okay. It's a whole slew of things with this guy.
Yeah, there we go.
He's a mess. So, Loyal tells this guy, don't worry, we're friends. Perrin says, we're going to help him. And then Simeon goes, I knew it! I knew that she was an Aes Sedai. Do you think she can help my brother?
Hopefully.
And I just went, oh no, this is not good. But Perrin goes, you know what? I'm going to go talk to Moiraine for you.
Yeah,
like,
no problem.
What? Like, why? Why, Perrin? Like, he's so bad at everything.
He's going with it.
So Loyal is going to stay here and keep him company and talk about trees.
Yep.
So that's cool.
And really bores Simeon.
Yeah.
Like, he does not appreciate the conversation Loyal's bringing up here.
I don't know. When they get back, they're, like, talking about the setting. He's, like, looking at him with wonder.
Okay.
I think he's interested.
Is he? And then he, like, quickly, like, gets up and he's like, oh, okay.
Well, it's because he's in the presence of an Aes Sedai now.
Oh, okay. It's always kind of funny. It's like, is he actually interested? Or is like,
I think he was
Loyal
interested.
just, like, boring with tree facts?
Probably that.
Yeah.
But
I had some tree facts on a fun fact. I hope you learned something about trees.
When? A long time ago?
General Sherman.
Oh, yeah.
The girthiest of trees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shh. No one cares about your tree facts, turns out.
I bet some people care about it. Yeah.
No one cares. Okay. So Perrin goes to Moraine's room and busts in to interrupt her conversation with Lan. Perrin right away is like, guys, Rand's been here, and that guy remembers him. And Moiraine hisses through her teeth, which is, like, my favorite thing that she does. Like, I can just, like, picture, like, that's how mad she is. And and then Lan growls at him, so she's hissing, Lan's growling. It's hilarious. And she was like, oh, and Lan says, you were told to keep your mouth shut.
Yes.
And he did not. So it turns out Moiraine doesn't need Perrin's help.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like all the time they're getting their information.
Yeah.
Their way.
And he's like, well, how are we supposed to find information if we don't ask anyone? And she's like, you stupid idiot. Like, I'm an Aes Sedai and I'm way smarter than you. Like, maybe you should just, like, listen to me for once. But nope. So she knows from all the crazy stuff that's going on here that Rand was here. And Perrin asks if his madness is catching. This is when they have that whole conversation.
Yeah.
And she says, no, he's just a crazy strong Ta'Viren, and he's messing up everyone's lives that he comes into contact with. He's even stronger than Arthur Hawkwing, who could cheat at gambling.
Yes, he could. So the whole Ta'Viren thing and the strength
Wasn't Matt really good and lucky with the gambling in Faldara? Isn't he Ta'Viren?
He is, and he was, like, lucky with, you know, the gambling thing, and then, like, the Shine
That's
Arms
what I
wouldn't let
picked up
Loyal play, so...
Well, that was different. But I
Yeah.
picked up on the whole Arthur Hawkwing could make the cards and dice go his way.
Okay.
But,
What are you connecting? I feel like you're connecting
well,
something,
there was
I don't
a thing
know.
about Matt being good at cards and dice or something, or at dice,
Yeah,
and he's Ta'Viren, so
So,
maybe
like-
he can make the dice go his way.
sure, okay.
No?
Okay, yeah. Matt can make the dice go his way.
Sure, he's Ta'Viren, and if Arthur Hawkwing could,
But why not Matt?
why not?
Okay, can Rand also?
Probably. He
He'd
just
make
doesn't
the
try.
dice get married or something.
He just doesn't
so,
try, yeah.
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 Okay.
He has no time for fun. Rand has no time right now. He's too busy going crazy. So,
I have to let you know because I love the people that are listening to us right now, and they are all on my side with the tree facts.
Oh.
So yes, thank you to everyone listening. You can't look at the chat though. It's
I
okay.
won't look at the chat.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
I'm getting my notes ready. Okay, so Perrin is so literal here that he's like, oh, so Rand's just gonna leave a trail of weddings and white cloaks going crazy? And it's like, well,
Not
no,
exactly,
not
yeah.
exactly that, but he's gonna influence people that he interacts with.
The way it kind of like lays out in this chapter is that like Ta'Viren, if you're like as powerful as Rand seems to be, it's like it makes people more susceptible to doing the things that they might do. So that's like all the weddings, right? It's people who are susceptible to it might actually go ahead with it.
Okay, so Perrin breaks the news that Simeon knows that she's an Aes Sedai and wants her to help his brother.
Yeah.
So Moiraine and Lan stare at each other for a moment, and then Moiraine says no. And Lan is slightly disappointed, like she's made the wrong choice. And I thought she was saying no to healing the brother.
Yeah, it does read like that the first time.
She's saying no to killing the guy.
To Lan going and murdering him like right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
And Lan was on board with that.
Oh, he was 100% going to go and murder Simeon.
Yep.
And it makes sense because they are dangerously close to Amadicia, and you have to assume anywhere close to there is like
if there's
Aes Sedai are here,
yeah.
they get killed. Like,
Yeah.
there's no questions asked. Like,
Yeah.
Moiraine's in trouble.
Okay, so she is gonna go try to see his brother after all, and they go to where Loyal is telling Simeon all about the Steadings,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
great. And Moiraine says that she will see to his brother and do what she can, and that Perrin will come too, but not Lan.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't read anything into this until the end of the chapter, and then I thought more about it.
Yeah.
Did she somehow know about this? Because I think she wanted Perrin to see this.
Okay, go on with that.
That's all I
Yeah.
got.
That's all you got?
I think that, well, no, it's not. It's never all I got. I
Okay.
think that Moiraine wanted Perrin
To see
to
the other...
see this wolf guy.
Okay.
Because why specifically, why can Perrin go with her?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
It makes zero sense in context of like why would in this one specific situation Moiraine say, yeah, Perrin, come with me,
Yeah.
because he's all the protection I actually need, and not Lan.
like that doesn't make any sense.
We do know that Moiraine has a lot of friends in a lot of places,
Yeah.
so maybe she heard something about another wolf man
Maybe. I think that she knew. I think she wanted Perrin to see this.
somehow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, here's where things get good and interesting. So, he leads them out to the alleyway to like this barred door where we meet Noam.
Yes.
And He is all crazy and wild, and then Perrin notices his golden eyes.
Ooh, okay.
So
Here we go.
Simeon says that he was talking crazy for about a year, telling people he could talk to wolves.
Yes.
And I just went, oh man.
Here we go.
Okay, so this is crazy because I was getting on Perrin for being like, you're not going to turn into a wolf. You're not going to forget you're a man.
Yeah.
Of course that's never going to happen. Like, I thought he was just too paranoid.
Yeah. Like he's overreacting to the situation. It's like, embrace the wolves, man. Why not?
Yeah.
But it turns out...
Because the only instance we have is Elias.
Who's like a little bit...
little wonky,
off.
whatever. But nothing like this.
Yeah, it seems like
This
Noam
is crazy that this could happen.
went full wolf.
Full wolf.
Okay.
I know, he did. He went full wolf. And so, about a month ago, he didn't come to town, and then Simeon found him like this.
Yes.
So...
That's interesting that there's like a differentiation here where it's like...
Yeah.
Maybe 1 week he was fine, the next week he was not.
He was not.
Like, I don't really know how often people come into town.
So Perrin reaches out his, like, wolfy feelers...
Yes.
...to Noam, and sees what the man is thinking. And it's all about, like, running in the wolves and killing and not good. And so Perrin, like, goes weak and shuts him out again. And then Moiraine goes in the room to see him, and Perrin warns her about him being dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So he is, like, snarling and growling at her, but then she, like, backs him into the corner and kneels and puts her hands on his head. And then for, like, a moment, nothing happens. And then she gets up and leaves. And as soon as the door is closed, he, like, starts growling and throwing himself at the door, trying to get at them again.
Yeah. So
I
she,
thought
like...
Perrin was going to reach out and try to, like, talk to him to calm him down.
Yeah, and we get this whole back and forth with Perrin, too, where he's, like, fully shutting off the wolves again after, like... And, you know, they just saved them in the valley, and now he's, like, shutting them off again. So it's hard because this is literally everything that Perrin is afraid of.
Yeah.
And we didn't know it was a possibility.
I really thought it wasn't.
But apparently...
Really, this was surprising to me. Yeah.
It's a possibility. So, like, in kind of, Perrin's justified.
Yeah. So she tells Simeon that there is nothing she can do for him. There is nothing in his head where he remembers being a man. Like, that guy's gone. And Moiraine leaves, but Perrin stays behind to talk to Simeon and convinces him that he can't just leave him here. Says, like, he's gonna die either here or out there. He might as well be free. So he lets him go. So Perrin leaves the door open, and Noam runs out on all fours into the night, and Perrin thinks, light help us both.
Yes, and again, all of his fears coming true.
So bad. And then Simeon tells Perrin that, like, they didn't always keep him in there, but they locked him away here because when the White Cloaks came, they were talking about Perrin Ibarra with gold eyes.
Okay,
who's
huge.
on the Dark Friend list.
He's on the list. He made the list, and then there's like, oh man, another guy with the yellow eyes. So maybe that one guy's, you know, Perrin Ibarra because like the White Cloaks obviously aren't going to do a lot of like research on like is this the actual guy?
Of course not.
So
Perrin says, well, do you think Perrin Ibarra is a Dark Friend? And then Simeon says, a Dark Friend wouldn't care if my brother lived or died.
Okay. Honestly, I tear up at this. This is like the saddest thing.
One.
Every time I read this like part, it's like Simeon 100%. I can ask you your opinion, but it's like Simeon knows that
100%.
Perrin is Perrin.
Oh yeah, and he says, like, it's so great that you found Moiraine to heal you before it was too late. I wish she was here a month ago to like save my brother. Oh,
but it's like too late, sad. And it's like it's so sad.
Yeah.
But again, it's kind of like Moiraine. We know that technically it's not Moiraine who like saved Perrin. If anything, it's Elias because we got that whole stuff about the intermediary. It's like who helped you through the transition, if you will.
Yeah.
And it was Elias for Perrin.
Oh yeah. Well, we know it wasn't. Like I don't even think that she can heal him from.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's the other thing.
Stuff,
it's like
right? Like,
Moiraine has got nothing to do with it, but it's like so touching that Simeon, you know, feels that way. So.
Yeah. Okay, so then Perrin asks for his meal in his room so that people don't notice his eyes.
Yep.
Simeon is happy to help, says you don't have to leave until, like, you don't have to leave your room until you're ready to leave the village.
Because 100% everyone else knows there's a Perrin with yellow eyes.
They have some kind of moment, and Perrin says that Simeon is a good man.
It's very touching.
Yeah, and that's the end of this
Heartfelt.
chapter.
Yeah.
That's going to be the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to finish up our episode recording here.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thank you for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Danny and Brett, edited by Danny, produced by Danny and Brett, with Passion Socks, Mozaim, Joe Lott, Scott Williams, Kyle Smith, Benjamin, Derek Benton, Vince Lewick, Dustin Schluter, and Michelle O'Brien. With music by Audionautics.com. If you'd like bonus content, like bonus episodes, outtakes, Q&As, more fun Wheel of Time talk, early access, cool stickers and keychains, and also to support us making great content, visit us at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitter at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We love interacting with our listeners. Plus, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. We'd really love for you to come over and join our Discord channel for some spoiler or spoiler-free discussions. You can find the links at our Twitter page as well as on our Patreon page. Thanks again for tuning in because this really is part of the pattern now.